In a small, forgotten town, there stood an old, crumbling house at the end of a narrow street. This house had a reputation. The townsfolk whispered about strange happenings and shadows that flickered in the windows at night. Most avoided it, but not Jamie. She was drawn to its mystery. One foggy evening, Jamie decided to explore the house. Armed with only a flashlight and her curiosity, she pushed open the creaking door. The air was thick with dust, and the floorboards groaned beneath her weight. As she wandered through the dark rooms, she felt a chill creep up her spine, as if the house itself was alive, watching her every move. Suddenly, she heard it, a faint scratching sound like nails on wood coming from the walls. She paused, heart racing, and pressed her ear against the cold surface. The scratching intensified, echoing in her mind. It was as if something was trying to break free. Ignoring the unease gnawing at her, Jamie continued her exploration, but the scratching grew louder, more frantic. A voice whispered through the walls, barely audible but unmistakably pleading, "Help me, let me out." Fear gripped her, but she was determined to uncover the truth. Following the sound, she stumbled upon a small, hidden door, nearly swallowed by the decaying wallpaper. With trembling hands, she pulled it open. The darkness beyond was suffocating, but the scratching was now a desperate clawing. "Please," the voice cried, "help me." Jamie stepped inside, the air thick with a stale, musty scent. There, in the dim light, she saw the walls moving, pulsating as if something was trapped within. Panic surged through her as she realized this was no ordinary entity. It was something ancient, something that had been waiting, hungry for release. In a moment of sheer terror, she turned to flee, but the door slammed shut behind her. The walls began to close in, the scratching now a cacophony of anguish. "You shouldn't have come here," the voice hissed, twisting into a malevolent laugh. Desperate, Jamie banged on the walls, screaming for help, but no one could hear her. The house consumed her cries, and as the shadows swallowed her whole, the scratching fell silent. Days later, the townsfolk noticed the house seemed even more dilapidated, but now, at twilight, they heard faint whispers and scratching from within, mingling with the wind. They dared not approach, for they knew the truth. The entity in the walls had claimed another soul, waiting patiently for the next curious wanderer to cross its threshold.